Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willett Jolley, and Dee is over there. She is around and about. She is just being active tonight. She's over here, she over there, she closing windows, she all over the place. Anyway, for those who are first timers, welcome, as my friends at Carolina Kitchen say, Lance London and the folks at Carolina Kitchen. And they all say that. But anyway, we want to say it to you today. Welcome if you're a first timer or if you're a not first timer. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we been married for going on 30, let's see, now we're going on 39 years. We're going on 30, how many years? 39. We're going on 39. And haven't had an argument in over the last 7 years. Okay, so everybody should go Greg Gazera ordered 10 books today. 10
You're
books.
going to get the new calendars, just came in too.
You get the calendars, the brand new calendars with that, Greg. They are beautiful. Oh my gosh, we're so excited about it. Your order
will go out tomorrow.
Your order will go out autographed. Thank you, Greg and Linda. They are at a family weekend at Kiowa Island. I don't know where that is. Have no idea where that is. But great gift for Christmas. Great gift for Christmas. Get it right now. Go to jolleymarriage.com or just go to my website, winwithwillie.com. Look for the products and get books and audios and videos and presents. Great. And I'll sign them. Okay, let's talk about this tech. You know, we get great questions, you know, and again, we encourage you to send a question if you have it. We will not use
we have to do research.
We won't use your name. What the heck research have to do with them sending questions?
Well, because it's interesting, and then I dig a little deeper.
What does that have to do with me inviting them to send questions? And then you talk about research. Where did that come from?
It's all there together, dear.
Anyway, we want to invite you to send a issue that you might be dealing with, you might have, you might know of, or somebody you know of, to info, INFO, at WillieJolley.com, info at WILLIEJOLLEY.com. And we will address it without using your name because we want people to be able to be open and honest and use anonymity. And to do that, okay? And so we want you to feel free to send us your issues.
And we will provide our perspective.
Yeah,
and that's where additional research comes in too.
And that way it comes. Now it makes sense. I mean, you just jumped in there with this research.
You've been with me long enough. You should be able to
I should see where
and know where I'm going.
Where the left turns are coming without a signal.
Correct.
I got it. Okay.
How is that? We have people who say, you just should know. What?
That's right.
You ought to know.
I should know. Well, in the book we say, you didn't marry a mind reader. And neither did I. So if you don't tell me, I'm not going to know.
You're not going to know.
And that's one of the things we want to make sure people do. Don't make,
Don't assume.
Don't assume you did not marry a mind reader. And some people say, well, you should have known I was upset. No, bad policy, bad thinking, bad way to create a great marriage. No, you have to communicate, okay? You have to communicate.
You have to explain your feelings. I think sometimes people don't know what communicate means. Because you're talking doesn't mean that you're actually communicating.
Okay. How much tea should you spill to your spouse? Should one spouse spill the tea to another spouse when their friend told them it was confidential?
And now, I had to look up what is spilling the tea.
Let's talk about that first. Because some people might not know what that is.
There is spilling the tea, and then there's something called spilling the sweet tea. See?
Ooh.
How about that?
Wow, I didn't know about that. Now,
always dig a little deeper.
Sometimes we get these things. We have to ask Cheryl Reagan, our pop culture expert and our lingo expert, who is our VP of marketing. She's not a millennial. She's a Gen X, I think she said, but she knows all of this lingo. Have you ever heard of it? And I said, what is this spilling the tea? So why don't you tell us?
Okay, so tea is an internet word.
Okay.
Used as an internet word, and it's an informal synonym for gossip.
Spilling
That's
the
what
gossip.
it is.
Okay.
So tea is equivalent to gossip.
Telling secrets.
Now, in the context of the question that came up that we're discussing this evening, it's a little different because information was shared with the partners to a spouse.
Oh, right? Say that again.
This is a little different.
Information was shared to a spouse.
Yes.
And the spouse
was
told by the person who shared this information, this is in confidence. Please keep it confidential. The spouse
don't share it with anybody.
Shared it with their spouse, who then, when they saw this person, brought it up.
Well, it kind of came out
in the
course of discussion or disagreement or something.
Oh, let's take it up. Senior Terrence jumped on. He got a rhyme. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little books, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little books, 7 little, 8 little books. Why not just buy the books? Hello, have you gotten your copy of the book? Make love, make money, make it last. Senior Terrence from Baltimore. He's one of our dear friends, and he has been selling books. And he and Greg Kazera have been our biggest promoters. We want to thank Greg and Linda
marketing team. Thank you.
And Greg ordered 10 books today, and we're just grateful for all of y'all who promoted. So thank you. All right, so let's see. Jerome Washington here. Great, Jerome. Thank you. Glad you're here. We got more and more people. We always all want to shout out to the people who watch on the replay, because I want them to know we appreciate them, and those who share it with their friends and family members. So.
And then send in any questions that you might have as a result of what we've already shared.
All right, so first is spilling the tea.
All right, so tea is gossip.
All right,
tea is gossip. An internet term now for gossip.
Okay, and what's sweet tea? Now, you said there's something now.
And then there's something called sweet tea.
All right, what's that?
It's when you're telling something that is not positive. Isn't it interesting?
Ooh.
When you're sharing some negative news.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Would you have a such as?
JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
Had an affair with the secretary at the church.
Ooh.
Now that's gossip. And that's also negative.
Yeah, okay.
So they distinguish between gossip, tea, and sweet tea. So sweet tea is something juicy and bad.
Ooh, okay. Now, here's the question. Should you share tea that is said in confidence to you? Here's something I'm dealing with, something I'm going through, something that happened to me, that you share your friend or your life friend, your best friend. They shared with the spouse, and then the spouse, should they tell and share it with their spouse?
In that particular situation, well, there are two ways that can happen.
Snitches get snitched.
Don't talk about your spouse.
Don't talk about your spouse to nobody. No, it's not to talk about your spouse to anybody, Terrence. Is should you tell your spouse this information that your friend told you? That's what we're
in confidence.
In confidence.
That was the issue.
Right.
In some kind of way, the spouse who learned the information, which was told to the other person in confidence, shared it with the person who originally told it in confidence. Does that make sense?
That's correct. Or it got it back to the person because of the spouse knowing about it.
Right.
So should you, but as a practice, should you share information with your spouse? Now, when
no, that's not quite the question though.
Should you spill the tea? Should you share the spilled tea or spill the tea?
Should you share information which has been given to you
in confidence with your spouse?
With your spouse. That's specifically what the question was.
All right, so we're getting comments from Terrence says, no, I don't want that in my spirit, which is kind of what you said.
Which is
today.
what I said. When
Hey,
we were having
Karen,
the original
we
discussion,
had the conversation.
I said, I don't want to know.
Right.
You know, can come several ways. If someone were to say to me, you know, I have something I want to share with you, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
because now it's like a piece of my brain. I have a piece of information or something that I have to withhold from my husband. Well, who else am I going to talk to really anyway? So now you made it front and center in my lobe. Oh, I've got something that I can't share with my mate. I don't want to carry that. No, I just rather not know.
Right. So Terrence and you are taking that. Mm-hmm. Greg Kazera said, I agree to keep it confidential. Keep it confidential. True in all matters. Karen said, no, I don't want that in my spirit. I'm not a trash can. Woo! I only go see a therapist. Let's see. Brenda said, I think no, unless they get permission from the other person to share. Okay. That makes sense. But if
the person who says, look, I want to tell you this in confidence, you can't tell anybody. Well, I'm married to him, so I can't tell anybody, which means I can't tell my husband. Don't tell me. Because now you've created a situation where there's something in between me and my husband.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm keeping a secret from my husband. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So I just rather not know. Don't tell me.
And as this came to us, Cheryl said, this is kind of interesting for y'all because y'all talk about everything to each other, which we do. And so I often tell people if they want to tell me a secret, and they, a lot of people want to have counsel with me. They just want to have counsel. Can I have a few minutes of your time? I want your counsel. I want your wisdom.
But do they say, I want to share this information, but don't tell your wife? Is that what
they never say that. They never say that because most of them know that's a dumb thing to say to me. Okay. They say, would you keep it in confidence? And I will typically say, well, confidence is me and D. I'm probably going to run it by D. Just so you know. Okay, you share with me, but it's not going to go beyond that. Because I want to.
And I would say, I think it's kind of interesting because sometimes when we're out and somebody will say something about, I talked to Willie about so-and-so, I'm sure he shared it with you. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I get so much. People call me with so much stuff. I sometimes say, I give them the answer they need. I give them wise counsel best I can. I say, let me tell you what I think you should do. I got too much. It's gone because I don't have time to dwell on that, think about that. Now, if it's something that would be I want her counsel on, I want to bounce it off of her and see if I gave the right advice, then that's another thing. But
I think it's good to be able to let it go.
The other thing is this, and I think this just popped in my head. The difference between spilling tea and asking for counsel. Okay, the difference between spilling tea. I want to tell you something. That look, if it's not going to be some way I can help you, I don't really need to know it, do I?
No,
I don't. There have been times in my life when people have shared stuff with me. I wish I did not know. I wish I had not heard that. I wish I could unhear it.
But you can't.
I can't.
Now it's in your consciousness.
That's right. So
I like that. Spilling tea versus asking for counsel.
That's right. That's different.
That's a great distinction. I like that. I wrote that one down.
Yeah.
Let me see that again.
Let's see. He or she get paid, and I just pay her copay. About therapists, you need a therapist. Any more comments over here from Facebook? What do y'all think? Folks, we're getting a lot from Instagram. What do y'all think over here on Facebook? Yes, no, maybe so. And then what about the fact that sometimes they ask for counsel and sometimes they ask for just let me spill the tea, or
they want to unburden themselves. I think that's what I'm going to infer, right?
Okay.
That perhaps spilling the tea means to just unburden yourself.
Like we went last week with the lady who wanted to unburden herself and tell her husband she had an affair after she had broke off the affair and go back and tell her husband because she had it on her chest. She couldn't get her conscience was bothering her. Should she tell? And I told her, don't tell.
No.
Let her go. Leave it alone.
She needs to suffer. That's
she needs to take that
and Jesus Christ.
That's right. Take that to the grave with you. Don't.
I think Tara said go to the Catholic.
Go to the Catholic priest and sit in the confessional booth.
Right.
And share it there, but
you need to suffer. You don't need to take. You need to make your spouse suffer.
And Terrence said, "Don't tell me, because I'll make a joke of it."
Yes, you will.
Okay. So those are interesting comments. We think the answer that we both think is, don't tell us mess. I don't want no mess. Okay, sometimes people just got to share messy stuff. Messy. I don't need to hear the messy stuff. If I can't help you in it, I don't need to know all of the mess. I'm okay without knowing it. I don't need to. And I don't go looking for people. What's going on? What's happening? No.
But some people do.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of don't tell mess to just unburden yourself.
Right.
Because you're suffering.
Right.
That's where you need to go seek a counselor.
You need to go see a counselor.
And there's so many now counseling online.
And you feel you got to unburden, you got to tell somebody, then you tell a counselor. Leave me out of it. And I know leave D out of it. Leave D don't want to have none of that.
I grew up as a preacher's kid, and you would hear, you're always hearing things because you're always working in the background. So you're silent. Well, at least I was. But you're always volunteering, working in the background, and you would hear this person say this, and then, I thought I heard that about this person over here. There's so much going on, and that sometimes you just need to be silent to not repeat what you hear.
Yes.
If you don't know firsthand, and what is it also, if the person about whom this is being said is there, would you have something to say?
Now, there are one more component in this. There are some people who cannot hold a secret. They're like what do you call an old refrigerator, can't hold nothing.
Icebox.
Icebox, can't hold nothing. They can't help themselves. They got to tell, and they got to tell. Those are the people you don't need to tell secrets to. Once you figure that out, if they're telling you or everybody else's secrets, you don't need to be now, of course, if your spouse, that's, this is a little different. I just think you should not tell your spouse if it's in confidence, one. And
you don't think
if it's in confidence, you should not tell your spouse. And unless you tell them like I do.
Oh, I see.
If you tell me, I'm going to tell D. Just know that.
Don't tell me. I don't want somebody to tell me, I have a secret I need. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Right.
I just don't want to know.
So the answer to this question is, don't tell your spouse unless you let the person know, which somebody else said. I think Greg Casera said, unless you have told the person, here's how I roll. Here's how we do. Okay. So let me expand on one more thing. I want to give D a second, because it's the time of the year where people start having issues on buying Christmas gifts and go in debt. They go into debt for Christmas gifts, and one spouse says, let's be conservative, and the other spouse will charge up the credit cards. What do you think about that?
You know what I think about that.
I'm waiting for you to tell them.
You need not buy a gift. Your presence and your time together is the gift. And if you have to buy an expensive gift, it's because you did not spend the time and the energy all year long. And buying a gift and going into thousands of dollars in debt is not going to make a difference.
I have to stop right here. Terrence has given such a great one. He said, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. I got a secret to tell about the Jolleys. Buy their book. Thank you, Terrence. He said, my Christmas gift this year, tell all my friends and family, simply is a smile and to buy the book. Thank you,
Time and attention.
And
is
Brenda
the most
says,
precious thing that you can offer.
And Brenda agreed.
someone.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So we agree with that. Now, as you go into this Christmas, don't go into debt. I mean, deep debt that takes you half the year to pay off the debt for some little toys that you get for children that be broken 2 days after Christmas. Time, love, attention.
And things that you can do that don't cost money. All the museums to go to.
Well, that's what we're planning to do. Is our family's coming for
Yes.
Christmas. We went out of the country last year for Christmas. This year we're staying home for I want to spend some time with our children and our grandchildren and take them around. And
So we're going to museums.
Yep.
We're going to take in a play.
Yep.
And what else are we going to do? And we're going to work on scrapbooks.
Scrapbooks.
Pictures.
And we're going to
some
talk
of them
about
don't have pictures.
the family
History
legacy.
pictures and like yes.
Family legacy that we want to make sure they get it. They get it. Here's our thinking about wealth creation, about wealth preservation.
Specifically, they're going to get a checklist. They're going to get a checklist of what do your finances look like? Here's what a budget looks like. Just a sample checklist.
Setting some goals.
Mm-hmm. Now is the time, and really it's late because as a business entity, by the time you get to the end of the third quarter, you're already working on the last quarter. But as a family, Christmas time is a great time to say, okay, let's reflect on the year and let's deal with what do we want to do differently in 2024.
Right. There's something that is
a couple of goals, and then let's come up with some plans of how we will support each other to achieve those goals.
Let me read this little piece from the book that goes along with this spilling the tea and how important it is that from the book. Chapter number 5 is leave the drama with your mama. And one thing, drama and crazy is a choice. As things get crazy in life, you don't have to get crazy with them. Be gracious, make peace, and it works if you work it. And it takes two. Accept responsibility for your part and do all you can to make it right. Be kind and continue to extend an olive branch when things go in the wrong direction. Be wise enough to apologize so drama won't get a foothold. Always be considerate. That's what I wanted to get to. Be considerate to the friend, to your spouse. And spouse doesn't need to know that mess. And sometimes you just need to leave it alone and tell the friend, I don't really need to know any messy stuff. I just don't need to. Now, some people got itchy ears. You know, some people got itchy ears. They just got to hear.
They ask 1,000,001 little questions. You know what? I have the kind of personality. Most of them don't do it.
No, they don't. They don't do that with Dee. That doesn't happen. Because
I have nothing to say.
She makes it very clear that's not what I do. So I'm glad that we're able to at least help. I hope that helped the person who's dealing with this about spilling the tea. Should you share with your spouse? If you do, ask: is this just spilling tea, or is this you need my counsel? You need my counsel.
That's a good takeaway.
Yeah. Second, if you need my counsel, I'm going to keep it in confidence. But you know, when I keep it in confidence, I share it with Dee. We talk about it together, and I give you maybe another perspective. Very often, I've come to you with something. Now, they didn't say to keep it in confidence, but they'll tell me something. I'll share with you. Say, have you thought about this? Oh, I hadn't seen that.
And they might not necessarily give me the person. Well, so and so said this. You might say, this was a particular situation. What's your take on that? That's
right.
Without actually giving me the person's name. And I don't really need to know the person's name.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I don't. It's just like we keep it anonymous on this show. I sometimes keep it anonymous with Dee. I'm not thinking to keep it anonymous. I just say, what do you think about this situation? Because a lot of people ask me for their counsel, and so I need to start charging them folks. Don't I? I know.
And I think you do have wisdom.
Look, everybody. Terrence said, "Look, everybody. I'm just going to give my Cash App out. Send me all the money. It's my love language." He's a character, but he tells everybody to go get the book. We encourage you to go get the book, and this is the time of the year to do it. Right now for Christmas, order right now.
Book and the workbook, because you need to work through it.
Okay, but for gifts,
chapter in a book and a workbook.
Okay, well then that's great. Get the gift of the book and a workbook to a couple who you want to bless this Christmas. Great gifts, and I'll sign it to them.
For keeping families together.
Yes. Did you know that
you
January?
Think about the children.
Did you know that January was the time of the year when most divorces happen?
No, where did that come from?
I saw the statistic recently.
Really?
January had most divorces after Christmas holiday.
After people bought all the presents and stuff that they don't want.
That's it. So we want less divorces this year, more staying together this year. Give this book before the divorce papers are drawn up, and let's save some marriages. How you like that? Everybody go. Is it in audio? Yes. It is. Terrence said
downloadable.
And downloadable at Jolley Marriage. You can download it. It's an audio. It's digital. You can get it overseas. People who are in other countries. Everybody can access JolleyMarriage.com. JolleyMarriage.com. Well, our time is up.
Download and audibles. That's we have to start mentioning that.
That's right.
Because some people would prefer to listen on their way or.
It's an audible. It's on all of the.
It's on all the audio platforms.
Right. Yes. So do that.
And you can get the old-fashioned CD. As we're dealing with, many people would prefer to simply download.
Yes.
As opposed to getting a CD, because some new cars don't have CD players.
He said he's giving out oranges for prison.
That's a good, healthy gift.
Thank you, Greg Kazari. He said good stuff. Thank y'all for saying this is a good show. I hope you're enjoying it. Share it with your friends and family, and God bless you. Jay Graves, now waving at you. We're going to go out with the song from my jazz album. You can get the jazz album at Willie Jolley.
Is that downloadable too?
Yes, downloadable too. Win with Willie. Look for all the products. Look for the jazz album. But I didn't think there's a website. WillieJolley.com/jazz. Anyway, winwithwillie.com. Look for all the products. We got to go. Our time is up. We're going out with one of the songs from the jazz album. Close to You.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.